WSGW and online, WSGW.com. The Art Lewis Show is presented by Westside Decorating Center.
Good morning and welcome to the Art Lewis Show. This is Matt Felan serving as a guest host for Art, who is on vacation. And it was great to hear him here in the last hour with Charlie. He goes on vacation, and what does he do? He calls into WSGW. God bless him. He'll be back on Tuesday after a much-needed and well-deserved vacation. Folks, it's November 1st, so a couple things. Number one, I'm going to steal a minute. Happy birthday, Mom. It is my mom's birthday today. I don't know if she's listening. I hope she's sleeping in here this morning. But happy birthday to her. And also for everybody, you guys know how it works. Halloween ended at 11:59 last night. It's over. It's Christmas season. Let's not even worry about Thanksgiving. It's time for Christmas carols and Bing Crosby and nothing but Christmas decorations and decor and candy and cookies in every store. That's where we're at come November 1st. Whether we like it or not, here we go, folks. It's just kind of always how I feel about November 1st now. As always, when I guest host, we love to tell the story of the Great Lakes Bay region. And this morning, I'm thrilled to be joined by Jim Milroy, President and CEO of First State Bank, as well as Todd Gregory, Chief Lending Officer at First State Bank. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, Matt.
Morning, Matt.
So, Jim, we're going to start with you. I always, for our listeners who they know First State Bank, they know the name, but they may not know what a business bank is or exactly what First State Bank does. It'd be great if you could kind of give us the big picture history of First State Bank and really kind of the current makeup of the bank here in the Great Lakes Bay region.
Sure. Thank you. Well, the bank, we're going to be celebrating our 20th year in April 12th of next year. And the bank was founded by a group of local business people that back then felt a local bank, but focused on helping businesses succeed would be beneficial to the entire Great Lakes Bay region and the three counties. They formed this bank with that vision in mind. 20 years later, that's what we are. We're still the bank for business. What that means is, as an example, 95% of the loans on our bank's books are to small businesses. We do personal lending, mostly mortgage lending, but we typically sell those off the balance sheet. But our focus is on businesses. And so our deposits that we raise, about 75-80% of those are to institutions and businesses and things like that. So with that, we've been able to develop a high level of expertise. Our branch folks talk to business people all day long, our business lenders. We've got 7 lenders that report to Todd, and we've got experienced people that they've been dealing with businesses all throughout their careers and through the 20 years of the bank's existence.
So I have to ask, you guys are in a unique position being so focused on small business. Seems like you guys can really have your fingers on the pulse of the economy. And I've been talking about this for the last several days on the show. I feel like the construct of time has changed from BC and AD to before COVID and after COVID. Are going to have to create new letters, I guess, on this a little bit. But it seems like that's how we view the world and how things are. How does the small business climate feel today post-COVID? How does it feel with small businesses coming in looking for those loans to add to their business, increase equipment, do some building? How does the health of the economy feel from your seats?
I'll let Todd go first.
Yeah, so it's been an interesting 3 years. I'd say where we're at today is very much different than when we came out of the COVID. Obviously, when COVID settled in, things stopped. The good news about that is it seemed to be fairly short term. And as we came back out of that, there was obviously a lot of momentum, a lot of, I think, pent up demand for services and items. And then I think an awful lot of cash being in the system. All of that supported an awful lot of demand. So from a bank perspective, things seem to come out of there really strong. A lot of loan growth, a lot of loan demand driving whatever it might be, whether it was new equipment lines or new business lines or just working capital. We saw an awful lot of that. But as we've obviously progressed, when we saw inflation kind of settle in, and the response to that has been bumping rates up, and they're doing what they're supposed to do. It's supposed to slow demand down. And I think as 2023 has progressed later and later in the year, Matt, first quarter was pretty strong. Second quarter still good, but a little bit less than as we just finished up the third quarter. You just kind of continue to see that little bit of that momentum slow down, a little less, I think a little bit more sitting on the sideline, just kind of awaiting where things kind of settle in.
And I was going to add cautious, I think is where I see a lot of our business customers. They're cautious, and some are prepping for potentially rough times. So they're kind of tightening the belt a little bit and being aware that we're not exactly sure where this is going. It seems like we might be able to negotiate a soft landing, but how that impacts individual businesses is very different. Depends on what industry they're in, but cautious, I think, is the word I would throw out there.
Yeah, that's fair. It felt like when we entered the start of the year, if you talk to leading economists and the experts, they were more and more inclined to believe we were heading towards a recession. They believed that the economy was just at a point where we weren't going to be able to sustain anymore. And it's been an odd year because job growth has been very strong, surprisingly strong. And maybe it shouldn't be odd because a lot of people had stopped working during COVID and had money in their pockets that was coming in through artificial means. And folks have decided, okay, it's time to go back to work. So it didn't necessarily surprise me. Seemed logical, right? But there's the interest rate hikes have definitely seemed to have done exactly what the textbooks would say, right? If you raise these rates, and they've been historically low for what many would think is too long, right? There was nowhere to go but up. That it really kind of halted, slowed. Let's say slowed the inflation. But if you're talking to, let's go one step further, just down to the consumer, the everyday person that may not even be a business owner, just the folks that I always talk about, the famous Frank Capra movie, It's a Wonderful Life. There's a great scene where Jimmy Stewart says, the people that do the living and the dying and the working in our community, the people that you call the rabble, Mr. Potter, do those people feel the weight of inflation off their shoulders? Do you think that's still prevalent and really impacting us?
I think it's still there. Keep in mind, inflation slowing down, that still means prices from 2 years ago are up 20% or whatever. So the hit to the consumer, I think, is also starting to slow some things down. We'll see how the Christmas season goes. Again, PPP, the COVID period, there's a lot of money out there that I think the consumers finally run through. Credit card balances are up. I just saw something not too long ago. Delinquencies are up on credit card balances as well. So I think the consumer is still feeling it, even though inflation's slowing down. That doesn't mean they've incurred big increases in prices over the last 12 to 18 months. So, the consumer's definitely feeling it, I think.
Sure. So, Jim, I have to ask, you said 20 years ago the bank started.
Yes.
There was a bit of a press release yesterday
There was.
that has indicated there's going to be a change. Congratulations, announcing your retirement for next year.
Yes.
And the fine-looking gentleman, Mr. Gregory, to the right of you, is in line. But I'd love to hear. Just tell me about your career. I think it's kind of a great time with that announcement yesterday.
Sure.
How did you get into banking, and kind of give us that trajectory of where you start your career to becoming the president and CEO of a local business bank to sailing off into retirement, apparently with 5 grandkids
Four
grandkids
yes.
in tow.
So I am an accountant by trade. I was at Michigan State in 1982.
Go Green.
And about the only business field hiring back then was the accounting field. And so that's actually how I picked accounting. The firm I joined had a very strong banking practice. And when they found out my dad was a banker and I was a teller in the summers during college, they threw me in the bank audit group. Was there about 8 years and ultimately decided I didn't want to be a partner in public accounting firm. The natural then was to go into banking. So I joined a bank called Shoreline Bank in Benton Harbor, Michigan, became their controller. 9 years later, I was president of that bank. A couple of years after that, we merged with Chemical Bank out of Midland. That's what prompted my move here. I actually worked with Chemical Bank for about 5 years, my first 5 years in the area. The opportunity at First State Bank popped up, and to go to a new bank, I think when I joined the bank, we had 32 employees. To really get down and back into it and to feel your real impact on a daily basis, couldn't ask for a better way to finish off my career, and been with First State Bank almost 17 years now. So it's been a great ride. I've had a lot of great experiences. Feel very fortunate and blessed. A bank our size, I made the comment to our employees when we made the announcement internally that about 6 years ago, I was interviewing Todd to come to First State Bank. And as I was sitting there, it dawned on me, I was interviewing the successor for a job that I didn't even have yet. And for a bank our size to be able to have that smooth transition from one CEO to the other, really, we're very fortunate, again, for a bank our size, and just feel very fortunate to have somebody of Todd's experience and quality and talent to be able to slide right in and keep things going.
Well, congratulations. We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to see if Todd's ready for this job after these messages.
Reminder, Medicare open enrollment is October 15th through December 7th. Have local Medicare experts walk you through the choices this fall. Medicare Choices is now M-Care Choices. Same professional assistance, but now with a different name. Does your Medicare plan include help paying for gas for your car, utilities, food and groceries, dental and vision, no-cost hearing aids, Medicare Part B premium credits? Call M-Care Choices, formerly Medicare Choices, today at 989-899-7820. No-fee service. Call the Medicare experts, M-Care Choices, formerly Medicare Choices, 989-899-7820.
As the weather gets colder, it's a good idea to layer up with scarves, hats, and mittens. Another layer of protection this season is to get your flu and COVID-19 vaccines. You can get both vaccines at the same time. Talk to your healthcare provider or learn more at michigan.gov/COVID-flu-RSV and layer up for some added peace of mind. Sponsored by the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services and the Michigan Association of Broadcasters.
Hi, this is Scott Trout of Cordell & Cordell. If you're a dad who's facing divorce, there are extra layers of stress that may include stereotypes and assumptions. No two situations are the same. Our legal experience and dedication prepare us for whatever legal challenges we face together. You need a partner you can count on. For more than 30 years, Cordell & Cordell has represented men in divorce.
Offices in Detroit, Ann Arbor, and Grand Rapids. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's attorneys online at CordellCordell.com.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Payroll processing company ADP is reporting 113,000 new jobs created by private employers in October. The number is weaker than forecast. ADP chief economist Neela Richardson says the labor market is still strong, though it has slowed and pay increases have moderated. ADP says pay was up 5.7% in October from a year ago, the smallest annual gain in 2 years. More earnings are coming in this morning. Kraft Heinz, Toyota, and Yum Brands, parent company of Taco Bell, KFC, and Pizza Hut, all reported upbeat quarters. Wayfair shares are losing ground. The online home furnishings company reported sales that fell short of expectations and a decline in customers. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosolda, invested in you.
Jesse Kelly here. Do you feel protected? My personal protection plan is owning gold. The Oxford Gold Group helps you buy gold to have on hand or convert it into your 401k. If things get weird, I have gold on hand. I like that. You can buy coins or convert part of your 401k with the Oxford Gold Group. It's easy and safe. 833-995-GOLD. That's 833-995-GOLD. 833-995-GOLD.
Identity theft shows no signs of slowing down. In fact, more than $29 billion were stolen last year alone. That's a criminal success story and a wake-up call for everyone else. It can be dangerously easy to steal your identity. LifeLock makes it easy to help protect yourself if you become a victim A dedicated U.S.-based restoration specialist will work to fix it. Join now and save up to 25% your first year with my name, Clay, as your promo code at LifeLock.com, promo code Clay.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Good morning and welcome back to the Art Lewis Show. It's Matt Felan filling in for Art. I don't know about anyone else, but I was happy to see the little bit of snow time magic from Halloween disappear from my lawn this morning. It was a little too early for that. I was with some friends last night that normally take a nice haunted hayride that turned into a haunted Christmas hayride. There's a lot of confusion. We just started putting up a Christmas tree and the carol started. And what are you going to do? It's snowing out. It's cold. November's the next day. There's just a lot of confusion. I walked into Sam's Club last week to go get some chicken for dinner, and it looked like a winter wonderland. And I thought Christmas was the next week by how it looked. But all I can tell you guys is when we start the show and Jonathan Dent gives me it's 30 degrees at WSGW, it takes a lot of energy not to throw my pen or some hot coffee at him. But he runs so much here, I got to be good, and decided, you know what, maybe wounding him just for stating facts isn't the best idea. So I'm joined here this morning by our good friends from First State Bank, and we went to break. We were going to pivot to Todd Gregory, who in yesterday's press release was announced as the new president and CEO for State Bank coming midway through 2024. And Todd, would love to hear your history. You know, how do you're in this unique spot, and Jim told a pretty unique story of when he interviewed you. He knew that he was interviewing you really to be CEO, and he wasn't even in that role, right? It was two steps out, kind of looking at that long-term succession planning. So how do you get from the start of your career to the point that you're at now, where you're ready to take the reins of a local business bank?
Yeah. Well, Jim's heard this before. I'm a self-subscribed kind of bank nerd. I wanted to be a banker since I was a young guy. And so when I went to college, jumped into the finance career with an emphasis on banking. When I graduated, it was all about interviewing with banks. And like many of us in the banking industry, started out in community banking. Mine first experience was down in Fort Wayne, Indiana with the Fort Wayne National Bank. It's since been sold into a bigger regional bank. Was down there, spent 5 years, and that was kind of my entree into banking and really kind of the path I followed all the way through banking, which was on the business side of the bank. Left there and actually came back to Michigan, which was home for my wife and I. My wife's born and raised here, and I moved to Saginaw, a pretty young boy, and so I've always called Saginaw home. And came back to Michigan, actually started with Citizens Bank, which out a Michigan-based bank, maybe not quite the community bank, but somewhere in between, and spent 13 years with Citizens Bank, which then became part of First Merit, and then which became part of Huntington. And just, 6 years ago, I had the opportunity to come back to community banking. And what's neat is through all of that, there's some good things and some bad things about the bank that you're at getting bigger. And one of the great things is you're around really good, talented people. And all of those people you're around, you take something from. I think they mold your type of leadership. You can kind of take things from them to say, okay, whatever it might be, and apply those things personally, and again, shape you as a leader. And I've obviously had, incredible, fortunate opportunity to be here at First State Bank. Jim's been a great leader for our bank and a great mentor. And then before Jim, I had opportunity to work for Rick Goddard. Rick was our CEO for many, many years prior to Jim, and similar, great leader, great mentor. And so, a lot of shaping what I've, kind of my leadership style, and as well as just my personal enjoyment about being a banker, being a community banker, and being a community banker in the community that I grew up in. All that's pretty neat for me.
So I got to tell you, every time, I chat with anyone in banking, I'm reminded that I went into the wrong profession. and that I should have been in the bank sign business.
Yeah.
It seems like if I was going to have a side hustle, I mean, just hearing your two stories, right? You know, Jim, you started a bank in Benton Harbor that gets bought by Chemical Bank. You go through and it's Citizens to First Merit to Huntington. Then while all that's happening, Chemical becomes a partner with the bank out of Detroit to TCF to Huntington. It adds a lot of confusion for consumers, right? And then, you know, they hear different things that are going on with these consolidations and changes, and suddenly their app changes and their login changes and those things change. As two longtime professionals in banking, what do you say to our listeners that are out there going, geez, oh, Pete's, can you just stay X bank for longer than a couple months, please? I've just gotten used to this. I've got a rhythm now. I know what I'm doing. What do you say to the consumer who really is the one that has to deal with all these various changes? Because I laugh, right? When they came, they're like, oh, well, we're now part of TCF. And I'm like, sure, Twin Cities Financial is going to have their name on everything in down Detroit. Sure it is, right? You can see where these things are going, and clearly it's not done. It's going to keep happening. But what would the two of you say to consumers out there that are listening?
You know, first off, it's going to keep going on. The consolidation is a part of the industry. Banks work on a fairly low profit margin, and so consolidation brings with it efficiencies and all that good stuff. I think it's what I would tell a consumer is, regardless of the organization, and even if they go through consolidations, it's the relationship they have, whether it's with the people in their local branch, the branch manager, the lender they like to talk to. It's still it's a lot of technologies impacted banking, and a lot of people don't hardly come into branches anymore. But when they do, it's a relationship that they have. It's still about people and relationships. And so if you form a good relationship with that banker, regardless of what the sign says, that's what I would be looking for and telling the consumer, is because there's going to be different points in your life where you're going to want to know somebody at the bank. And it still gets back to relationships. So
that leads me to the next question. Perfect question. So let's say we have a small business owner that's listening right now, and they're here in the region, like, you know what, I need X equipment, or I'm ready to expand. I need a small business loan to be able to take that next step. How does it work with you guys? What do they do for that person listening right now? Goes, you know what, I like these guys. I'm going to go check out First State Bank. How do they go and contact you guys, and how do they start that process?
Multiple ways, Matt. So the first thing I'd say, so much of it depends on the individual, the business. If it's a real small business and they're out in the field all day long or just out of their office, a lot of the times their ability to connect with a bank during banking hours isn't possible. So an individual can go to our website, and there are direct links to all of the business lenders that are right there on there. There's actually a application process that you can make. If you are looking for a small business loan, there is some size parameters around that. So that'd be the first one I'd say. We have 5 branches in our 3-county community, which is our service market. Bay, Saginaw, Midland counties. You can walk into any one of our 5 branches, ask for a branch manager or one of our personal bankers, and they'll connect that individual with the right person. And then certainly we're right here, headquartered here in Saginaw off of Fashion Square Boulevard. That's where all of our business lenders typically are housed from an office standpoint. As Jim mentioned, we've got 7 business lenders. And then we've got 2 other individuals, including myself, that even dabble in it a little bit every once in a while as well. So we really do have an incredible amount of experience. Jim knows this, and I'll age our lending team a little bit, but if you took the 7 lenders, I believe the years in banking approaches about 200 years. So I like, we're a smaller bank, but there's an awful lot of sophistication with that, and especially in being a business bank in the business segment.
And all those lenders, whether the loan is $10,000 or $5 million, they all work with other customers at whatever level those loans are. So we don't funnel certain size loans a certain direction. If the customer wants to talk to a banker, they can talk to a banker regardless of the size of the loan they may need. If they want to go to the website, fill out the application, that's their comfort zone, we've got that available to them as well.
I will give you guys all the credit in the world. You have a lot of very familiar faces at First State Bank. A lot of folks who are very well known in the community with deep relationships, and I think that ties. But we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the Ruby Awards after these messages.
Save up to 50% on a hot tub, cold therapy tub, or swim spa at the Hot Tub and Swim Spa Blowout Expo this weekend at Dow Diamond in Midland. Browse the largest display of hot tubs, cold therapy tubs, and swim spas in the region. See swim spas in action offering exercise, therapy, and fun all year long. Over 40 spas will be on display from 5 major brands at huge discounts. Financing is available and show admission and parking are free. That's the Hot Tub and Swim Spa Blowout Expo this weekend at Dow Diamond in Midland. Visit spashow.com. That's spashow.com.
Before it's too late and white mold becomes a problem, you need to ask your seed dealer for Heads Up seed treatment. When raising soybeans in the Midwest, you know the risk of being caught unprepared. As heard on Ag PhD, there are several steps you can take prior to planting for a successful management plan against white mold. Compatible and cost-effective season-long protection starts now by asking your seed dealer to apply Heads Up to your bean seed order. For more information, visit headsupst.com.
Who'll be there to tell us if the band left them begging for more? To bring us the classics, spinning down Woodward. Who'll be there to warn us when our commute needs a detour? Will you? Start a career in the broadcasting industry. On air or behind the scenes, there's a place for you. Go to BeThereMichigan.com to learn more.
3 little words no parent wants to hear. My tummy hurts. And it always seems to happen at the worst times. Like in the middle of the morning rush, when you still have homework to check and lunches to pack, and of course, you're already late for work. Luckily, there's Pepto Kids. Pepto Kids gummies help relieve occasional stomach upsets, turning those 3 words into these 3 words. I feel better. Bad time for stomach upsets? Good time for Pepto Kids gummies. Fast support for little tummies.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com has sold out. If you missed this awesome deal from Super Cute in Freeland, make sure to stop in and check out great deals on home decor, trendy and holiday clothing, giftable items, and so much more. Plus, a gift certificate makes a great gift for the holidays. Follow Super Cute on Facebook for the latest updates and gift ideas. And don't forget to watch out for the next great deal at RocketGrabPlus.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Exergen thermometers are the smart choice when selecting your thermometer because accuracy matters. Exergen thermometers are fast, non-invasive, and clinically accurate for medical and home use. Find Exergen thermometers at Walgreens and other participating retailers. Learn more at Exergen.com.
What I know about courage, I learned from my adoptive mom. She said sometimes you just gotta hold on and know we'll get through this. Mom, we are so high up. Hold my hand.
No, you hold my hand.
Here we go.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more.
I learned patience from my adoptive dad. All he had to say was,
"Hey, you got this. Just breathe." Hey, we're pretty good.
Yeah.
Might have to start a band.
I got it.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Broadcasting from the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios. This is WSGW.
Good morning and welcome back to the Art Lewis Show. It's Matt Felan with the Great Lakes Bay Regional Alliance filling in for Art. And I'm here this morning with my good friends from First State Bank, Jim Milroy and Todd Gregory. And there's an award, an event as well, that's really become, quite prestigious here in the Great Lakes Bay region. And that's the Ruby Awards. And First State Bank has a long history presenting the Ruby Awards. Can you talk about that? And I know I think the deadline just passed for this year's nominations, but let's get it in people's heads early for next year. Can you talk about the Ruby Awards and how First State Bank became involved?
I'll kick it off first. The Ruby stands for Recognizing the Upward, Bright, and Young. The idea of it came from Rick Goddard when he came back to the area to form First State Bank. Kind of saw a void in terms of a community award that would recognize people that are under the age of 40 doing well in their careers, and kind of highlighting this is a great place to have a career and raise a family. And so he brought that award. It's been the bank's award from day one. This is, I believe, the 18th year of the Ruby Award. It's been a fantastic thing, I think, for the community. You go back and 18 years ago, in the first 5-6 years of winners, they are the who's who of our community today. It's really quite a list to look at. But Todd's been more involved in this year's nomination process than I, so I'll turn it over to Todd to talk about that.
Yeah, as you said, Matt, just finished the nomination period end of last week. Great response again this year. I think the final tally in nominations was 81 this year. So both quality and quantity be a tough decision as we get into the kind of taking it down and finalizing who those award winners are. You know, it's also kind of to Jim's comment in terms of the past recipients. If you walk through our branches, you'll see pictures of all of those past recipients, and it is pretty cool. And one thing I would say, it really has more to do with that individual's accomplishments professionally, what they've been able to do personally, wherever they have worked, the contributions they've made. Sometimes I think it's a little bit confused with the community involvement. Certainly many of them are involved in the community, and that's just an aspect of them giving back to the community. But it really is about recognizing more in the professional accomplishments that they've been able to do over the years.
Yeah, and you can see that, you know, when I speak at an event or there's going to be an award and you get the bio, and it starts with, okay, where do they work? And then where they go to school? And then under that, you'll oftentimes see, you know, 2014 Ruby Award winner. I mean, people, it's become something that's really sought after. It means quite a bit to people because of those that have been recognized, right? You put yourself in that company, you go, wow, I cannot believe these are the people that won this award. I want to be part of that. And people have really taken this as a serious badge of honor here in the Great Lakes Bay region, haven't they?
Most certainly.
Yeah.
I was just with Renee Johnston, Executive Director, President, CEO of Saginaw Community Foundation. She and I were doing a presentation last week, and her picture was up on her wall. She was a award winner in the I believe in the very first class of award winners. And it was neat to just hear her kind of speak proudly of that and that picture.
And I think what's also great about the award is it's people from every industry. We recognize entrepreneurs, people in education, people in corporate business environment. It's really, again, back to recognizing their progression in their career, but it's wide open in terms of where those careers be, whether, again, entrepreneurs, corporate, education. It really doesn't matter the industry, which makes the event itself fun to hear their different stories of the different winners each year.
So for those listening that know someone under 40 that meets the criteria, come next year when they want to nominate Jonathan Dent, what do they do? What's the process? How do they go about it? And what do they have to do to put that nomination in?
Again, really try to make it easy. We hit a variety of our partners out there. We touch base with the chambers of the world in all three communities, basically provide an avenue. This past year, I believe was the first year we did it. You can just go to a QR code and it took you through to the application process. And then from there, you hit submit. You can go right directly to our website again. The application is right there. You get done completing it and you hit submit and you're good to go.
Fantastic. Well, everyone, I have heard, Jonathan, no pressure, but we're going to need you to be great over the course of the next at least 11 months and really kind of keep rising your standing. And, you know, maybe you'll have a shot. Maybe some crazy man will or woman will nominate you. But no, phenomenal award and great for our listeners to hear more about it. We're going to take another break, but we'll be back with our friends from First State Bank.
Meet the dedicated team of professionals at McLaren Bay Region. They're committed to providing the best possible experience for their patients.
Hello, my name is Garrett Engelhart. I'm the nurse manager of critical care at McLaren. We're a 22-bed unit. We take care of medically complex, critically ill patients. We work closely with patients' family and the entire care team for the best possible outcomes and experience for our patients.
When choosing McLaren Bay Region for your healthcare needs, you can trust that you'll be doing what's best for you and your family.
It's time to think about your pig. You know, the propane tank in your backyard that heats your home? Well, there's no better company to fill your pig than Forward Energy, covering 23 counties. Forward Energy is a family-owned and operated propane supplier that's been fueling area homes, farms, and businesses since 1925. Fill your pig this year. Visit forwardenergy.com to find out about new customer pricing and programs.
Go forward with Forward Energy.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed? Because only the Sleep Number Climate 360 smart bed lets you each sleep up to 13 degrees cooler or warmer on either side, while you both sleep at your ideal level of firmness, comfort, and support, your Sleep Number setting. And now our all-new next-gen smart beds have temperature benefits, so you sleep better night after night. And now the new Queen Sleep Number C2 smart bed is only $8.99. Ends Monday. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com.
Hey, this is Travis Kelce, NFL tight end and proud member of the Lowe's home team. Lowe's knows when you've got the best price, you've already won. That's why we offer the lowest price guarantee. If you find a better price online or in store, we'll match it. Now you can score on the top brands from the Lowe's home team picks, like Scotts, LG, and DeWalt. So take on your projects with confidence. Lowe's is the exclusive home improvement retail partner of the NFL.
Price match applies to same item, current price of qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how we'll match price at lowes.com/lowest price guarantee.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Hey, good morning. You're heading to the airport, right?
Yep, thanks for checking. I like the car. How long have you been a rideshare driver?
About 3 years now, but I really enjoy it.
Isn't it hard to make money these days with the price of gas being so high?
Not for me. I use Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get real money back when you get gas with the Upside app?
Yep, I get real cash back every time I get gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make around $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code STRONG for an extra 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code STRONG for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code STRONG.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with things I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of the disease called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, straight lines seem wavy, like when looking at a door frame. For others, blurry or missing spots can make it hard to read or see loved ones' faces. Many have trouble seeing in low light, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you've been diagnosed with AMD and notice vision changes, don't wait. Talk to your eye doctor about GA today. Learn more at GAWon'tWait.com. That's GAWon'tWait.com.
The back-to-back Big Ten champions are hungry for more.
He's in the clear, to the 10, to the 5, yes. Tipped and intercepted.
What a great catch.
Into the blue, touchdown, Wolverines.
Join us Saturday, November 4th when Michigan hosts Purdue in a rematch of last year's Big Ten title game. Kickoff is at 7:30 right here on your home for the Wolverines.
Game day coverage presented by Lingle Equipment begins at 6:30 on 790 AM WSGW.
Good morning and welcome back to the Art Lewis Show. This is Matt Felan with the Great Lakes Bay Regional Alliance, and I'm filling in as a guest host for Art this week as he's on vacation through Monday. He will be back here on Tuesday. This morning, I'm joined by my good friends from First State Bank, the president and CEO, Jim Milroy, and the chief lending officer, Todd Gregory. thought we'd maybe take this last segment to talk about one of my favorite topics, the Great Lakes Bay region. You guys, through the years, have been great supporters of regionalism, great supporters of the new regional construct under the Great Lakes Bay region name and brand. Jim, you've had the opportunity to serve on the board. My question for you is just why? Why have you guys, as a bank and an organization, decided, you know what, this is important and this is a priority for us, and we believe in regionalism? Love to hear your thoughts.
Sure. As a bank, I'll start there first. Quite frankly, it was the original vision of our founders. Day one, they said our market is Saginaw Bay and Midland counties. Even though we're headquartered in Saginaw, the original vision was the 3 counties. And so that's been our approach from day one as an organization. Personally, I'm not from the area originally, so we moved to Saginaw Township, but at that time I was working in Midland. And so I don't have the long-term ties to Saginaw. And so I came to the area fresh. It's easy for me. I look at the area and I float to Bay City for dinner in the summertime and the concerts, and up to Midland and to Saginaw. And really it's the area complements itself so well. If you're not tied, I'm a Bay City person or I'm a Saginaw person, what the whole area has to offer is really, it's been an excellent quality of life for me for the last, I've been in the area 21 years, and it's been excellent for me and my family. But as an organization, day one, we were here to serve the 3 counties, and that's been our market definition since we started. Yeah.
Sure. So as you guys think about the region, and I can tell you, me personally, so I grew up in the region, grew up in Bay City until I was 18. I was kind of that mindset. I'm going to graduate from high school and leave, and I'm never looking back. My son, he's 17. He's the same way. I'm out of here, right? So I did. I went to Michigan State, and I moved out east, and I think we were 36, and we had our kids, and we kind of looked at each other and said, wow, raising them here in Richmond, Virginia, although we love it, we have no infrastructure, no family, no support. There were kind of some crazy things going on. The economy had cratered, and we looked at each other and said, where are we going to raise the kids? And we said, oh, wow, Bay City, we're going to move back. I'm going to break my vow, right? And when we did, I've been blown away by a lot of things in all the communities. Bay City, I'll start with, when I drive into downtown going west to east over Vets Bridge, and I see that downtown that's really exploded since 2000. Mm-hmm. And then I look right and I see uptown. Mm-hmm. I just can't help but have a giant smile on my face, because when I grew up, those were old abandoned buildings like Greenhoist for years, right? You see Midland, downtown Midland, they've had a great vision to expand downtown Midland. They bought a lot of houses in between those one-ways and created a larger downtown, and you see the investment there. Downtown Mount Pleasant is a really cool, unique place. Mm-hmm. A lot of cool restaurants, art, different things. And then I think we all agree Saginaw is coming. Mm-hmm. And with the medical diamond and projects that are headed Saginaw's way, I think that downtown is going to change dramatically in the next 20 years. And where I'm going with this, from your seats, what would you guys like to see? What do you think is the key to the region to keep having some growth and some success, and to really kind of take that next step?
I'm going to use the word that Jim mentioned, and that's kind of complement each of the communities. I think each of the communities brings specific strengths to it, whether it's services or skill sets of people that are there. But, and I know, Matt, you've been involved in this. We've had, past conversations in terms of recruiting and retention. A lot of that it's about the region and what the region offers to incoming and people that are here. And, and as I think the younger group out there are looking for an experience. And so we've got to work on those things. And it has been great to see what all of the communities have done to accentuate that or accelerate that. Having grown up here from way long time ago, 6th grade, to see the transformation within all the communities. And I would agree, maybe not as much that you've seen in Saginaw, but we still are kind of the population hub of the 3 of them. And there are a lot of really, really good people here in positions to make a difference, that are passionate about the success of Saginaw, but also the whole region. So I think as long as we continue to have the people that are dedicated to that and advancing forward, all of the things that the area has to offer. And like I said, and kind of complement each other.
Yeah.
I think the downtowns are really important to any community.
Yeah.
And so you talked about Bay City and Midland. Saginaw, we need some more of that development downtown. The Medical Diamond certainly be a tremendous thing, tremendous asset. But that attraction to the downtown areas is, I think all three communities got to keep working on that, because I think it starts with the downtowns and then it goes from there in terms of attracting people. And the demographics, we need to attract people. We need to replace those that are retiring like me, because that's part of the demographics. But then we need growth, because that's a truly vibrant area. The population's going up and you're attracting people. And that's our biggest challenge.
You said something fascinating, to replace you. How about this, Jim? We don't want to necessarily replace you. We'd maybe like you to live here for the next 30, 40 years and enjoy retirement here.
Yes.
What I want to see is when I'm having dinner at Real Seafood, I want to see you out on a 60-foot Tierra yacht, cruising down the river, being a great consumer with family and 4 grandkids in tow. That's what we want to see. Well, hey, we have to wrap up here this hour, but just want to thank you guys both for being here. Congratulations again on retirement.
Thanks, Matt.
Todd, congratulations to you on the giant step up. Well deserved. And, go have a great rest of the week, gentlemen. We'll be back after these messages.
Challenge. It's not something you shy from. It's a chance to up your game. Every day brings a new challenge, but with the enhanced Channel Seed brand on your side, you can rise to it. With our top-performing seed, innovative digital tools, and expanded agronomic support, you can turn tomorrow's challenges into your next advantage. Your enhanced Channel Seed brand. Let's rise to the challenge. Learn more at channel.com/rise. Read and follow pesticide label directions, IRM, grain marketing, and other stewardship practices.
Keeping your fields clean all season long? Now that's a boss move. When it comes to weeds, we mean business, just like you. But you already knew that. In choosing to use XtendFlex soybeans, you've ensured that your fields can reach their full potential, because our XtendFlex technology enables you to control more weeds than any other soybean weed management program. Learn more about the difference XtendFlex soybeans can make at RoundupReadyXtend.com. Read and follow pesticide label directions.
Exergen thermometers are the smart choice when selecting a thermometer. With children back at school, keeping them healthy is important. Got a fever? Stay home. To detect fever accurately at home, you need a clinically accurate, fast, and non-invasive thermometer. The Exergen thermometer is backed by over 100 clinical studies. Accuracy matters. Be smart and safe. Measure accurately with Exergen thermometers, available at Walgreens and other participating retailers. Learn more at Exergen.com.
At EasyCater, we know ordering food for work isn't as easy as it seems.
Lunch meeting is set for Wednesday.
We need food for 27 people. And it has to be on time.
Client is coming.
Messy eater.
Where's white shirts?
You getting this? Okay, what do we need? Gluten-free.
No more sandwiches.
Make sure there's enough. Make sure the food is hot.
Client has a hard stop at 12:30.
Make sure there's plenty of food. Tomatoes and potatoes. Stay under
5 more people. Lunch meeting? Just use EasyCater. Food for work delivered on time as ordered with a huge variety. 100,000 restaurants, one platform. Order 24/7 at EasyCater.com.
Inside the 20, inside the 10, makes a cut. Mason McKenzie to the house. Touchdown Saginaw Valley. And the freshman playing in his own backyard with a spectacular 57-yard touchdown run.
The Cardinals of Saginaw Valley State University return home this Saturday to host the Northern Michigan University Wildcats. Game day coverage presented by Jaganathan Neurosurgery and Forward Energy begins at 12:30 on 100.5 FM WSGW.
That's all for this hour of the Art Lewis Show. I want to thank Todd Gregory and Jim Milroy from First State Bank for joining me. Up next in the next hour, I have Jenean with Baynes in Freeland. But first, the news.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. It is bustling at the Rafah crossing between Gaza and Egypt, where injured Palestinians and people with foreign passports are being allowed safe passage into Egypt for the first time since the Israel-Hamas war began. Asel Sharab has a Canadian passport.
We heard yesterday that the borders will be opening at 7 a.m. So we came here hoping to leave. We have a little hope to leave and save our lives.
Diplomatic sources tell CBS News the U.S. and Qatar mediated the agreement. CBS's Robert Berger from Jerusalem.
The opening of Egypt's Rafah crossing for some 500 foreign passport holders and about 90 seriously ill Palestinians comes after weeks of tough negotiations with the U.S. America's priority has been to get around 400 Palestinian Americans out of Gaza. We'll have to wait and see how many are able to make it out today.
Gaza's Hamas-run government claims Israeli airstrikes have hit apartment buildings in a refugee camp near Gaza City for the second day in a row, killing and injuring more civilians. Israeli military spokesman Jonathan Conricus explained yesterday's attack.
The bottom line is that there was an important military target there. We struck it. We took precautions to minimize collateral damage, but the military aim was achieved.
That, he says, was killing a key Hamas commander. Democrats and many Republicans say they won't vote for a bill from the new House Speaker, Mike Johnson, that uncouples aid for two countries at war, providing funding for Israel, but not Ukraine. It also cuts funds to the IRS. Connecticut's Democratic Senator Chris Murphy.
The House is debating a measure that they know is dead on arrival in the United States Senate.
The Supreme Court is hearing arguments today in the case of a California man who tried to trademark a phrase mocking former President Trump. Steve Elster hopes to put Trump too small on T-shirts and sell them. Government officials say the words themselves are fair game, but cannot be trademarked without Mr. Trump's consent. We're about to find out if it'll get even more expensive to borrow money. Business analyst Jill Schlesinger.
When the Federal Reserve concludes its two-day policy meeting later today, it's expected that the central bank will leave short-term interest rates at 5.25% to 5.5%.
You might want to think twice about stiffing the delivery person. DoorDash has added a pop-up in its app that warns customers orders with no tip might take longer to get delivered. It's letting drivers choose between customers, which means they'll likely skip you if there's nothing extra in it for them. The Dow is up 45 points. This is CBS News.
Make the hiring process work for you. With Indeed's end-to-end hiring solution, you can attract, interview, and hire candidates all from one place. Start at Indeed.com/credits.
What's the most important part of a retirement plan?
Income is king because we all need income. And if you don't have an income plan, you don't have a retirement plan.
That's Kevin Ray, financial coach at Insight Folios. Kevin tells his listeners every week about the importance of income planning, minimizing taxes, and strategies to lead a worry-free retirement. Learn all about that and get your own complimentary financial review by calling 888-885-PLAN. That's 888-885-7526.
This could be the start of a break-in.
Stop. This is Simply Safe.
Or the end of one.
Police are on their way.
Introducing the latest innovation in home security. 24/7 LifeGuard protection, only from Simply Safe. Now, agents can see and speak to intruders through our new indoor camera to help stop crime in real time and for fast police response. Get 20% off any new system with Fast Protect monitoring at simplysafe.com/radio. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. The IRS just rolled out a new program to help struggling taxpayers more easily resolve their tax problems. It's called the Taxpayer Relief Initiative, and it opens up powerful new options for people looking to get back on the right track with the IRS. And no one knows this program like the professionals at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution company. They've resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients and have the expertise and experience to help you. One easy call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries of wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Make today the beginning of your fresh start with the IRS. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief now for your free confidential consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Live
From the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Mostly sunny skies and 32 degrees at 10:05. Good morning. I'm Mike Birchuk. Fire crews responded to a structure fire on Saginaw's west side late Monday night. According to the Saginaw Fire Department, smoke was reported coming from the Outlaws Motorcycle Club at 1903 Durand Street around 11:30. Firefighters extinguished the blaze with mutual aid provided by the Buena Vista Township Fire Department. No injuries were reported, though the building did sustain heavy damage due to fire and smoke. Investigators are working to find the cause of the fire, which they are considering suspicious. Yesterday, Ascension St. Mary's and Saginaw Valley State University announced a partnership setting employees of Ascension up for student success. WSGW's Christiana Malacara has this report.
Dr. Stephanie Duggan, Regional President and CEO of Ascension, Michigan, calls this connection a major move to strengthening all who are involved.
Because we're strengthening those individuals that are gaining strength for their career, they're learning new skills. Anytime you give someone education, it's a bonus.
Through the Dr. and Miss Malcolm Field Fellowship, students and Ascension associates can form a bridge of education with other disciplines, such as health science, biology, engineering, and technology. This is Christiana Malacata, News Radio 100.5 and 790.
42 people will be recognized for their community service November 28th at the Governor's Service Awards in Detroit. Included in that list are individuals and organizations from the Great Lakes Bay region. Julian Morris of Saginaw will be awarded with a Youth Volunteer of the Year award. Eleanor Lopez of Mount Pleasant will receive an award for Older Adult Volunteer of the Year, and Saginaw-based Women of Colors is being recognized with a Community Impact Award. The ceremony will be held in Detroit's Fox Theater. For a full list of award recipients and their biographies, visit michigan.gov/Governor's Service Awards. WSGW News Time, 10:07.
The unmistakable sound and unforgettable music. Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort invites you to Christmas Jazz with Kenny G. Sunday, December 10th at 6 p.m. Tickets start at $34. On sale now at the box office and etix.com. Kenny G. Beautiful music for the most beautiful of seasons. Sunday, December 10th. Showtime 6 p.m. at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort.
RocketGrabPlus.com. Why pay full price when you know you can save at RocketGrabPlus.com? Check out our deals like half-off wedding packages from Music Mixology's DJ service, night out at Reality Check in Bay City, unique floral design and gifts, Bubble Tea Brew House, Daylight Outfitters, and so many more. Half off? Yeah, it's true. It's all at RocketGrabPlus.com. RocketGrabPlus.com.
WSGW News Time, 10:08. The weather forecast is coming up. A reminder from AAA, don't veer for deer. The reminder coming as nearly 600,000 hunters are preparing to head out for the start of firearm deer season on November 15th. Last year, 11 people were killed in deer crashes, 6 of them motorcyclists, and more than 1,600 people were injured in crashes involving deer. Over 42.7% of vehicle deer crashes occur in Michigan during the months of October, November, and December. Ford says all of its striking workers are now back on their jobs. Here's Autobeat reporter Jeff Gilbert.
The workers at Michigan Assembly, Chicago Assembly, and Kentucky Truck are now back on the line. Ford is also slowly bringing back workers who were laid off due to the strike. About 65% of them have been called back. Now, this is a good start, but it's going to take a while to get the assembly lines up to full speed. Stellantis and GM are also bringing back workers, but they've not yet given specific numbers. Jeff Gilbert, the Michigan News Network.
Voters in Grand Rapids are being asked to vote for a $305 million bond proposal for the Grand Rapids Public Schools. The 20-year bond would be used for building upgrades, but a lot would also go for technology, security, and renovations of athletic facilities. The issue would not raise taxes, but extend the current 3.85 millage rate. It's Veterans Small Business Week. Brian Love, director with the Michigan Veterans Affairs Agency, says small businesses are the backbone of the Michigan economy. The organization also helps connect veterans with benefits and resources they earn for their service. Veterans can contact the Michigan Veteran Resource Service Center at 1-800-MICH-VET or online at michigan.gov/MVAA.
WSGW News Time 10:10. Now here's WNEM First Alert meteorologist Matthew Monroe.
First day of November, welcoming in with a fresh coating of snow, some colder temperatures too. We'll still have a high of only 41 today and a bit of a breezy day too, with our winds starting to turn southwesterly. We'll have some wind gusts up to 20 miles per hour, so wind chills easily staying in the 30s for today. We'll just have a few lake effect snow showers in the northeastern thumb during the morning, dry during the afternoon for everybody though. As we head into tonight, we'll have partly cloudy skies with a low of 29. That southwest wind still gusting to 20. And then for your Thursday, partly sunny with a high of 46 and the southwest wind gusting to 25. We'll eventually have a high of 50 with mostly cloudy skies on Friday. Next best chance of rain actually doesn't return until Monday. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Matthew Mondro.
Right now it's 32 degrees at WSGW.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com. The Art Lewis Show is presented by Westside Decorating Center.
Good morning and welcome to the second hour of the Art Lewis Show. This is Matt Felan, filling in as a guest host for Art this week. Art, for those of you who've been listening all morning, called in during the 8 o'clock hour and talked to Charlie. He just can't leave us. Even though he's on vacation, he had to call, get a couple words in, get his 2 cents, make sure that we all remember that he's coming back Tuesday, but he's taking a much needed and well-deserved vacation this week. It is November 1st. I'm going to say it again. Number one, happy birthday, Mom. It's my mom's birthday today. Got to sneak that in. We will leave her age out of this. She looks like she's 39, but a happy birthday. And secondly, I don't know about anyone else, but I was confused last night. There were pumpkins and trick-or-treaters and a blinding snowstorm. And I saw people going by singing Christmas carols and Christmas trees were going up, but then someone was chasing someone down the road in a Scream costume. There was a lot going on last night between the holiday and the weather, folks. But it is November 1st, which means it's Christmas carol season. It's Christmas songs. Jonathan Dent is excited. He's going to be singing all the good Christmas carols all month long.
Thanksgiving first.
I forget about that. I guess we have to do Thanksgiving. But Jonathan, to be fair, if you and I just go down Tidbawasi here when we're done and start ducking into a few stores, you tell me what it's going to look like in there. And I'm going to tell you, there's no Thanksgiving, apparently. Everyone, as usual, has shifted straight to Christmas. Although I'm going to take a quick minute to share something that I feel is important. I am a connoisseur of Reese's products.
Oh, yeah.
I love Reese's peanut butter cups. I have my whole life, but I want to teach you something important, okay? Right now, like around this time, you're going to start seeing those Christmas trees that are out, the Christmas tree Reese's, okay? And for all of you that are listening, this is important. You want to eat those now. Don't wait till Christmas. Don't put them in someone's Christmas gift. I hope Santa doesn't put them in anyone's stocking. By the time they're manufactured, they're there. They're fresh now. The peanut butter is creamy and delicious. If you wait until December 25th, I'm going to tell you, you're going to be eating a chalky peanut butter Christmas tree at that point. The key is you got to eat that stuff now. So I've created a calendar. I never thought I'd get into this, but this is an important conversation. This is a calendar, okay? So at Christmas, don't eat Christmas Reese's. At Christmas, you want to find Valentine's Reese's, okay? And at Valentine's, don't eat the Valentine's one. You're going to want to find the Easter ones. And at Easter, no, if they got something for the summer. And once we get to the summer, you have got to get to the Halloween ones. And then at Halloween, eat Christmas. And then go on that rotating schedule. And what I promise you is that you're going to eat fresh Reese's peanut butter, eggs, and trees, and hearts, and all that good stuff. That is the calendar.
If you were a true connoisseur of Reese's products like myself, you'd know that the chocolate to peanut butter ratio matters more than the timing. And the peanut butter cup matches it perfectly. The pumpkin's all right. The trees get it all wrong.
I hadn't thought about that. I'm going to put that into my equation as we move forward.
Yeah, factor that in.
Okay. So this is a great transition. We're joined today by Jenean Coughlin and Carly Coughlin from Baynes Apple Valley, who have a few treats of their own. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning, Matt.
We also, I'm sorry, Matt. We do have Reese's peanut butter cookies at the store. Just had to say that.
Reese's peanut butter cookies at the store.
But we may have to look at the ratio of chocolate to peanut butter, Carly.
We might have to.
We may have to add a little bit more chocolate on.
So Jonathan and I immediately volunteer for whatever taste testing needs to happen. If you need to lay out like a couple dozen variations of the cookies, Jonathan, are we willing to take this
Market
on?
research, yeah.
Market
Yeah.
research. So we are here for Baynes Apple Valley. That's all I can tell you. We're here to help you any way we can.
Well, don't be surprised if some show up on the doorstep outside.
Yes. And for those of you that don't know me, but only hear me, if you've never seen me, trust me when I tell you I look like a man who consumes cookies. I'll just leave it that way. I like an occasional cookie. So, Jenean, I'm going to pre-warn you, and Art does this to me when I'm a guest on his show.
Sir.
He always loves to talk to me about politics. I won't go that far, but Jenean is a fellow school board member.
Indeed.
She's in Saginaw Township.
Yes.
Apparently, you have been on the school board there 74 years.
73.
Seriously, how many years?
And go Hawks. Since 2006.
Since 2006.
I am the second senior to Mary Ann Bird.
Oh, Lord. I am on year 4, and it feels like 74. So later in the show, we may peel away and chat a little bit about being on a school board. But
Well, I applaud that you're already the president of the school board.
Short straw. It happens, and that's what happened to me. But we'd love to start. Tell us about Baynes Apple Valley. I can tell you, I am a consumer. I am a customer. I have been known to buy Minions cookies. It is a great place. Tell us about Baynes Apple Valley. You've done quite a bit of work over the course of the last several years. Tell us about the state of Baynes Apple Valley today.
Well, first of all, on behalf of the Coughlin family and our entire staff at Baynes, thank you for having us this morning. We are honored to be on the Art Lewis Show, indeed. And Sean, if you're driving back right now from the Noe appliance store, we're thinking about you here, baby. So it was 2016 when I decided to have a midlife crisis. Carly was going to be a sophomore at Ferris. Our middle son, Ben, was going to be a freshman at Michigan State, and Bryce was going to be a freshman at Heritage. I was in corporate USA for a very long time, Campbell Soup for 18 years, and then Grupo Bimbo, largest bread manufacturer in the world, covered a large territory, was on an airplane every week, and missed my family. So one day I came home, told Sean, guess what? I think I'm going to put in my resignation at Grupo Bimbo. But let me just step back for a minute. 4 or 5 weeks before that, it was a bright Sunday afternoon, and I was complaining about work, as sometimes we do, walking behind the couch at home, and he said, Jenean, why don't you just quit and let's buy Baynes? And for some reason, I don't know if that was a sign, but that just stuck in my head. So when I left Grupo Bimbo, we went on a journey, worked with the SBA here in Saginaw County, turned our 401ks into a C Corp, and started our next chapter. Fast forward to this day, we now have a Class C tavern license. In 2020, we did indeed start with 10 taps. Now we're up to 24 taps. We have a full-blown cafe, and we just have expanded on the legacy that the Baynes family started for 51 years.
So I have to say, Jenean, I've been blown away because for years we actually had an office in Freeland and was always excited, like, oh, Baynes is open now, like from this point in time to this point. It was like, cool. And you'd go over and you'd get some donuts and get some cider and you'd go on your way. And then suddenly it was like, hey, now they got products from Traverse City in here. And now they're starting to bring cool Michigan products from all over the place in here. I'm going to get some chocolate covered cherries from Cherry Republic while I'm here. And then it was, well, I guess I'm going to have a sandwich. And then the next thing I know, I'm getting invited to birthday parties. And there's bands and DJs and music and taps. And I'm out by the fire and I'm having a great time. And I'm like, what is happening here at Baynes? I mean, you guys have really taken off and exploded here in the last decade, right?
You know, that's actually one of our points of pride is our amazing partners that we have all across the state. So we we partner with Fustini's out of Traverse City, with Cherry Republic, like you indicated, Ironfish, which is a family right here from Saginaw. And then we've formed new friendships with people like Shorty's Cookies and M22. We love to know our vendors and our partners, and we like to be able to tell a story about them. We can probably tell you some pretty funny stories about some of them, but we can't do that on the air. And
maybe we can if we drink what's on the table in front of us here. I mean,
oh, you're right.
I see you brought beverages. I mean, if we crack into those, maybe we can get to the funny stories here.
I did bring some beverages with us, and that's another point of pride, is Ben has really taken the hard cider part of the piece of the business to the next level. And we now partner with friends like Arvon out of Grand Rapids. And last year we had a beer that we called Bobbing for Dunks, where we actually put 50 pounds of our donuts into this formula. So you can taste a little bit of our sweet.
Wow.
It's really good, isn't it, Carly? Yes. We also partner with Ferndale Project out of Detroit, and they use our hard cider to make one of their sours. So that's really fun to.
Absolutely amazing. And for those of you that are listening, they're like, hey, what's Fustini's? Fustini's is a very cool olive oil company up in Petoskey and Traverse City. I venture those ways quite a bit, and I've gotten to know a lot of those products and brands. So when I see them at Baynes, I'm excited. I'm like, hey, I don't have to wait X months until I'm heading back up there, which is awesome. So love that you do that. I'll tell you what, we're going to take our first break, and then the Jenean show is going to take a quick break, and we're going to shift.
Go to Carly.
And this is important of why we're going to shift to Carly, because I asked Carly before the show, what's your job title? And apparently on her business card, it says Keeper of Fun. Oh, we are going to break that down after these messages.
Why do I feel like that's going to go the wrong way?
Save up to 50% on a hot tub, cold therapy tub, or swim spa. The Hot Tub and Swim Spa Blowout Expo this weekend at Dow Diamond in Midland. Browse the largest display of hot tubs, cold therapy tubs, and swim spas in the region. See swim spas in action offering exercise, therapy, and fun all year long. Over 40 spas will be on display from 5 major brands at huge discounts. Financing is available, and show admission and parking are free. That's the Hot Tub and Swim Spa Blowout Expo this weekend at Dow Diamond in Midland. Visit spashow.com. That's spashow.com.
Are you tired of exposing your retirement to stock market risk? How would you like the potential to participate in credited interest from market indexed returns and limit the downside? Join Adam Howard for the Retirement and Income Radio Show this Saturday at noon. You can also call Adam now for your complimentary customized Safe Money and Income Radio Kit and Safe Money and Income Radio Book. 844-350-7233. That's SAFE. That's 844-350-7233 or SAFE.
What I know about courage, I learned from my adoptive mom. She said sometimes you just gotta hold on and know we'll get through this. Mom, we are so high up. Hold my hand.
No, you hold my hand.
Here we go.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more.
I learned patience from my adoptive dad. All he had to say was,
"Hey, you got this. Just breathe." Hey, we're pretty good.
Yeah.
Might have to start a band.
I got it.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
I'm Stuart Varney, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks opened higher. The Federal Reserve wraps up its meeting today. It's not expected to raise interest rates, but investors are waiting for an update on the economy and signs of whether a future meeting might include a rate increase. Payroll processing company ADP reported moderate job growth last month of 113,000. Kraft Heinz shares opened lower, even though it had an upbeat quarter. Estée Lauder shares are down 15%. Though its earnings were stronger than expected, it did make a profit in the quarter. It's lowering expectations, especially because its recovery in China is slower than forecast. About a third of Estée Lauder's revenue comes from the Asia-Pacific region. Canada Goose, the luxury parka company, also says sales in China have softened. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
Hi, I'm Martha Stewart. Every year, more than 4 million pets enter shelters here in the United States. My friends at American Humane have been helping animals since 1877. The goal is to ensure that pets have a safe shelter, especially during natural disasters. Adopting a shelter pet allows shelters to help more animals awaiting care. Please consider adopting today and take some time to learn more about American Humane's other work at americanhumane.org.
The WSGW Morning Team.
The WSGW online poll regarding the time change. In spring 2022, the U.S. Senate unanimously passed the Sunshine Protection Act to make daylight saving time permanent. It would have started here in November of 2023, except the U.S. House never did anything with the legislation. A 2023 version of this act has remained idle in Congress as well. Many support the idea of no more time changes, though not all are on board to make daylight saving time permanent. There are some who advocate that standard time should be the permanent time. The poll question for you: what time structure should there be in the United States? Should daylight saving time be permanent, where it's more dark in the morning and more light in the evening? Should the standard time be permanent, where it's more light in the morning but more dark in the evening? Would you say just leave the time changes as we have them right now? Or are you not sure? Head to WSGW.com, scroll down the homepage, find the online poll box, and make your vote.
Your Morning Team, 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
Good morning and welcome back to the Art Lewis Show. This is Matt Felan with the Great Lakes Bay Regional Alliance filling in for Art. And as you guys know, when I host a show, we like to talk about all things Great Lakes Bay region. And this hour, we are having some fun because we are joined by Jenean and Carly Coughlin with Baynes Apple Valley. And before we went to break, I alluded to what's on Carly's business card. It just simply says, keeper of fun, which we learned in during the commercial break that Jonathan Dent's business card says killer of fun. So it's, you know, we're everyone has something different on their business card. Carly, where do we get keeper of fun and where did that come from?
I will say I do feel a little tension, you know, sitting across from you. Killer of fun, keeper of fun.
It's the producer's job. It's no fun.
In all honesty, I'm not 100% sure where that came from. I had mentioned to my parents and brother a few years ago, hey, you all have business cards. I want a business card. That's not fair. Well, that year for Christmas, after the season's over, of course, I get business cards, and at the bottom of it, it says keeper of fun. But to what my parents have talked about and to who I am as well, I'm not someone that sits still well. I enjoy doing activities and being fun. This last weekend, for example, I told all of our employees, dress up. It's Halloween. Let's have some fun. In all honesty, this weekend, I would love to turn in the store into a Christmas wonderland. I dress up as an elf. I get ready for Santa, who does come the first Saturday after Thanksgiving, doing fun activities like that, especially for the young kids that come in. Now, I know we do have, you know, the beverages for the adults, and we do have a lot of things for older people that come in. But one of the areas that we do lack is things for the kids that come. So I love when kids come in, hey, let's go behind. Let's dip your own caramel apple. Let's grab your own cookie. Let's go grab a fresh donut. You know, making it fun, making an experience for them as well.
You know, that's actually a great call. You know, my kids are now 17 and 14, so nothing's fun. But years ago, when we would take them to Baynes, you know, you would get that. Like, they always felt like, oh, great, you're dragging me in. You know, my only move was, look, pick out your favorite Minions cookie and leave me alone. I'm going to go buy some cool stuff, right? So I think that's cool. Although I'm questioning your job title right now, Carly, as keeper of fun, because keeper kind of makes it sound like it's something that's there for yourself. Maybe you're like more the spreader of fun or the fun spreader. I think we may need to rethink these business cards because you're not keeping the fun. You're actually sharing it, giving it out to everyone.
Thank you for the Christmas idea. I appreciate that, Matt.
Yeah, no, I think it's
that would be my only gift.
It's like a promotion, right? It's you're going to be the distinction. Like poor Captain Crunch, that guy hasn't been promoted in like 70 years. He's still a captain. You would have thought through the years you would go back and eventually he'd be like Admiral Crunch or General Crunch. Like,
right, yeah.
You think he'd earned it through time? So I feel like maybe you going from keeper of fun to spreader of fun is like a promotion. The promotion the Captain Crunch could never get.
I will be honest, when I'm not I haven't been at the store a whole lot recently because I am finishing up my degree at Saginaw Valley and I do teach during the week. So it's not like I've really deserved the promotion, but when I do hand out my business card to people, it is a fun conversation.
No, I bet it is. So I have to ask. So when you're the child of insane parents who decide that they're just going to take their retirement and turn it into a business, right? And an existing business, but it's a pretty big risk, right?
Yes.
And it's a pretty big lifestyle change for all involved.
Very much so.
How was that as a child in a house that your parents make that move?
Well, like my mom had said, when they started thinking about this life change, I was a sophomore at Ferris. So at the time, I was going into actually hospitality management. I wanted to follow my mom's footsteps. They bought a business. I switched roles.
She got out
quick. I did. I got out quick. Nothing against, them and everything, but it's busy. It's hectic. In the fall, we don't have a life. I'll be honest. But it's not bad. You do adjust to it. Now, my younger brother, Bryce, is at Central. He is a senior this year. He doesn't come home that much because he knows he's going to get dragged into work and doing fun things. And that's okay.
And we don't have any food at home.
And we don't have food at home. Yeah, the refrigerator isn't stocked. So I moved out about a year ago.
It seems like you guys have access to enough beverages and food at work that everyone should survive. Everyone will make it through.
Yes.
Yeah, a few people do get a little annoyed with us in the kitchen, but it's fine.
That's fun. So I'd love for people that may not have been to Baynes, which there can't be that many, but for those 5 people in the region that are driving, they're like, hey, what is this Baynes? I haven't been there. Tell them more about the store and the experience and the various offerings when they walk in the door. What can they expect, and what are, how much time should they give themselves, and how can they really enjoy their time at Baynes Apple Valley?
So before, and my mom can finish this, before we get into that, actually, a few weeks ago, we were on TV5. They came early in the morning and they did something. And since then, we have had a lot of people come into the store that have never been.
A lot of new people.
A lot of people that are experiencing it for the first time, asking questions, which we absolutely love. So we do have our regulars, but recently it's been almost every day our employees are saying, oh my gosh, these people were new today. Oh my gosh, these people are like, I can't wait to come back. And that's one of the things that we love as well. When people say, oh my gosh, I can't wait to come back. Because when you walk in, one of the things that I love is our staff is so personal. They're having conversations with you. They want to make sure that you're having that right experience. If something's maybe a little late coming out of the kitchen, we're talking to you about it. If Ben's got a long line at the bar, okay, let's have a conversation. Hey, what do you like? If you need to go quickly, let's go to the refrigerator. We're making sure that they come in and they not only are seeing things that they want, but they're seeing something new that they didn't think that they would want to buy.
No, that's great news.
That's a great point, Carly. The products are awesome, but people want to feel loved and want an experience. And that's what we love to do. Yeah. Our mission statement is to inspire and nurture the human spirit and love for our region, one person, one donut, one apple at a time. And it was weird writing that mission statement all the years ago before we bought the space, but I feel like we try to live this every day. We really do.
So Jenean, I'm going to throw this at you. So when someone comes in for the first time, tell them, what does it look like? What are the offerings? What's their experience going to be like?
You're going to walk in the front room and you're going to see Michigan products. You're going to see the love and the pride that we have for our state right out of the gate. Hopefully you're going to get an amazing aroma, either in the morning of donuts, or as you get more into the afternoon, it could be whatever Jill is frying up in the kitchen. It could be, she makes all homemade soups. So it could be onions to go in the homemade soup. Just a plethora of things, those smells that come out that really resonate with people. You're going to see our beautiful bakery counter that's filled with all the traditionals, but we've also added gluten-free items from Third Coast Bakery, those types of things that really help to elevate the experience, we feel.
And that's another thing, too, a lot of people don't know is we offer so many gluten-free options. We have our donuts, we have cookies, muffins, we have a mini apple pie, all of our soups, and anything in our kitchen as well can be made gluten-free. We have gluten-free bread and tortilla wraps.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Chef Jill knocks it out of the park when it comes to that.
I think this may be more of an indictment of me, but for those of you that aren't listening, Third Coast is a cool place in Traverse City, and they're famous for being a gluten-free establishment. It's a coffee shop, and I was up there, of all things, my son goes to Bay City Western, and Traverse City is in our conference for football.
They are.
So we always have to sneak up to Traverse City, right? Yep, you're on the other side of the division for football, but we have to go up there once a year, and when we were up there, we stopped in at Third Coast and grabbed a couple gluten-free pumpkin donuts and a great cup of coffee. So I love that you guys keep bringing in and partner with all these products from across state. You know what? We're going to take another break, but when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about dashing through the snow 5K, and we're going to talk schools at some point. Jenean's not getting off the hook today after these messages.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
Attention everyone on Medicare.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Cut.
What? This is a Medicare annual enrollment ad.
Yeah, but for eHealth, we make Medicare easy, not stressful. You can compare plans in the Saginaw area from multiple insurance companies side by side.
So it's convenient.
And personal. Compare plans that cover your doctors, your medications, and your budget.
Personal.
Plus, you'll get free unbiased support from eHealth's licensed insurance agents with no obligation to enroll.
I see it now. eHealth's like a helpful guide or...
Your Medicare matchmaker.
Exactly. Okay, here we go. Medicare plans change every year. Find the plan for you by comparing all-in-one plans all in one place. At eHealth, your Medicare matchmaker.
Nailed it.
Get started at eHealth.com or call 1-800-975-1891 to speak to a licensed insurance agent.
That's 1-800-975-1891.
All voices are paid actors. This ad is not from the government. It's from eHealth, an insurance agency selling plans for many insurance companies.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off. They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
My ride smells just right, just right, just right, just right. I gotta try that Febreze car. Just right, just right, just right. La 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 la. With up to 40 days of consistency. All over Febreze car clips right on your vent. You know my car's my happy place. Keep a smile on my face. When it smells just right, just right, just right. And breathe happy Febreze. La 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 la.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Hey, good morning. You're heading to the airport, right?
Yep, thanks for checking. I like the car. How long have you been a rideshare driver?
About 3 years now. I really enjoy it.
Isn't it hard to make money these days with the price of gas being so high?
Not for me. I use Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get real money back when you get gas with the Upside app?
Yep, I get real cash back every time I get gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make around $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code STRONG for an extra 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code STRONG for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code STRONG.
Inside the 20, inside the 10, makes a cut. Mason McKenzie to the house. Touchdown Saginaw Valley. And the freshman playing in his own backyard with a spectacular 57-yard touchdown run.
The Cardinals of Saginaw Valley State University return home this Saturday to host the Northern Michigan University Wildcats. Game day coverage presented by Jag & Nathan Neurosurgery and Forward Energy begins at 12:30 on 100.5 FM WSGW.
This is the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios of WSGW.
Good morning and welcome back to the Art Lewis Show. This is Matt Felan filling in as guest host here through Monday. And I'm joined this morning in this hour by the Coughlins, Jenean Coughlin, owner of Baynes Apple Valley, and Carly Coughlin, current keeper of fun. We'll see if we're going to make some changes on that as we move forward.
She gets a promotion.
And she may get a promotion. Captain Crunch is going to be ticked that he's still left behind, but what are you going to do? So, Jenean, you know, I don't care. People always ask me what makes the Great Lakes Bay region great, or really what makes it such a unique region. And what I always talk about are, honest to God, the people. I view the people here in this region as hardworking. They try to do well and do good, and not a surprise like everybody else. There are things in the community that you care deeply about, and you believe in giving back. And you guys have an event coming up, the Baynes Apple Valley Dashing Through the Snow 5K, which is going to take place on Saturday, December 16th at Interman Memorial Park in Saginaw. Jenean, can you talk about that event and what it benefits and why you guys host that?
Yeah, one of those amazing people in our region is Barb Smith, and Barb runs the Suicide Resource and Prevention Center here in Saginaw, but she reaches so many counties and so many people in the greater Michigan, I should say, in all over Michigan. And I am honored to sit on her board of directors. And one of the fundraisers that we do is Dashing Through the Snow. I believe it's, Carly, December 16th. December 16th. It'll be at Emmerman Park. All proceeds go back to Barb Smith and her mission of preventing suicide in the great state of Michigan. So this is just something that we partner with. All proceeds, like say, go back to her. The registration is at Baynes. Santa will be out there. The elf will be out there. But it's just something to bring awareness to the crisis that's going on, the mental health crisis that's going on all across the country.
Yeah. So what, I think, the Great Lakes Bay Region Alliance, we have an arm called the Great Lakes Bay Mental Health Partnership, working really hard on work-based placed mental health, on provider well-being, on breaking down the stigma that's often associated with mental health. What got your passion in this, and why do you get engaged and involved?
This is a little bit of a tearjerker for me. I think when it hits home.
Carly, you're gonna have to come in here and help Mom out.
Well, I'm not 100% sure where she's going with this.
But when it hits home, when mental health affects the people that you love to the point that you are a concern for their well-being,
sure,
it really hits home.
Yep, I understand. I understand very firsthand, as I have direct loved ones who have dealt with mental health issues, and it's one of the things that we talk about that we find very important is breaking down that stigma. Because
absolutely,
for whatever reason, years ago when someone had a mental health problem, people felt that they needed to hide it. Right? They felt like something was wrong, that it showed weakness. And the reality is, if Carly ran in here right now and she had a broken arm and her arm, the bone was hanging out, we would all scream and leap into action and call 911. We'd put a tourniquet on it. We would give her help. We would hold her hand. We would do whatever it is, right? We see people that have mental health problems, and we know that they do. And we often go, well, that's not my business, or it's uncomfortable, so I don't want to talk about it. Whatever it may be, there's just a stigma associated with it, or some of it sometimes can be cultural. There are certain cultures where it is viewed as a weakness and it's looked down upon.
I'm sorry, Matt, but it is something that we absolutely do have to talk about. I'm happy that in our school systems now, that on the back of their ID cards, that it is called out and that there is a number for them to call if there is indeed an issue.
Yeah, we do the same in Bay City. Actually, I think it's through the Great Lakes Bay Region Mental Health Partnership that it gives that resource. This is why I love what you guys are doing, because you're helping the people that have reached the end of their rope, that they don't feel like there's a way out. And suicide prevention is so important. I know, again, and we're going to chat about it in the last segment, as a school board member, we had a difficult fall this year. We lost a student to suicide. The same thing happened to our friends at Midland Dow, and they were both freshmen, and there was a freshman game where they had to play each other, and the young man from Midland was a football player, and it was a very tough fall for our students, continues to be. And I think it's just important that we keep talking about this and make sure that people understand that there's resources, or ways to benefit organizations that help this. So let's tell people once again, tell them about the event on December 16th so they know exactly how they can help folks here in our region.
It is Dashing Through the Snow. It's the 5K held at Emmerman Memorial Park. Do we know what time yet?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I apologize.
But if you want more information, you can go to digdeepraces.com/dashin, and all of your information and how you can sign up will be there as well.
Yes, Andy Brady does a great job with Dig Deep.
Awesome. Well, Jenean and Carly, thank you for doing that. We are going to take another break, and we come back. We're going to talk about the joys of being on school board together after these messages.
The 35th Annual Dow Tennis Classic returns to Midland now through Sunday, November 5th. Watch top-ranked professional female athletes from around the world compete in the WTA 125 event. Tickets range from free daytime matches to all-inclusive experiences with Grand Slam dining and beverages. Support area nonprofits and local businesses, all while watching world-class tennis. For more information and tickets, visit DowTennisClassic.com.
Upgrade your home and get 11% off all countertop at Menards. Menards countertops are durable, dependable, affordable, and easy to install. Transform everyday spaces into gathering places. With Menards' great selection of quartz and laminate countertop, visit our kitchen showrooms in store or go to Menards.com for your free estimates today and save 11% on all countertop at Menards. Good through November 5th. Savings are a mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
This statement has not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
When it comes to my lifestyle and diet, I don't always make the smartest choices.
Touchdown! Woo! Hey, how about another round and some more chips?
But when it comes to taking care of my liver, I do make one very smart choice. Active liver tablets from New Nordic. I used to have real issues with my liver, and at my last checkup, my doc was concerned about my numbers. But since adding a once-a-day active liver tablet, my gut's better, I feel great, and my doctor's happy. I ask a lot of my liver, so the least I can do to say thanks is a daily dose of Active Liver.
Active Liver is one of many award-winning health products from New Nordic, the #1 supplier of dietary supplements in Scandinavia. Purchase at Amazon.com or for a volume discount, visit newnordicusa.com. Available as a tablet or delicious sugar-free gummy. Protect and help your liver the easy and effective way with Active Liver at Amazon or newnordicusa.com.
Nothing slows my little girl down, except a stuffy nose.
Mommy.
That's why I use Sinex Children's Saline from Vicks. Sinex instantly clears mucus in everyday stuffy little noses with a gentle, ultra-fine mist designed for kids. Just Sinex? Breathe. Her stuffy nose is gone for now. And so is she.
Sinex Children's Saline. Sinex, breathe. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
Exergen thermometers are proven to be more accurate than non-contact thermometers. With children back at school, keeping them healthy is important. Clinical studies have proven that non-contact thermometers are inaccurate and can miss fevers. Accuracy matters. That's why the Exergen thermometer is trusted and used by medical professionals. Exergen thermometers are available at many fine retailers. Choose a trusted and accurate thermometer for personal use. Learn more about why accuracy matters. Available at Walmart and participating retailers. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Thousands of stores across the country are pulling brand name cold and allergy products off the shelves. Why? Because an FDA advisory panel recently determined that a drug they contain, oral phenylephrine, is ineffective as a nasal decongestant. Navage offers a drug-free solution that's fast and highly effective at relieving nasal congestion caused by colds and allergies. Navage uses suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out of the other nostril to help suck out allergens, mucus, and germs. Nasal irrigation works, and Navage makes it quick and easy, but more than anything, it helps you breathe better. Don't waste your time or money on products that are ineffective. Trust drug-free Navage for fast relief to help you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier. Ask for Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or find us online at Navage.com. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Good morning and welcome back to the Art Lewis Show. This is Matt Felan with the Great Lakes Bay Regional Alliance, guest hosting for Art. And today I'm joined by the Coughlins, Jenean and Carly from Baynes Apple Valley. In doing this role as a guest host, I've learned from the best, and I've learned from Art Lewis. And what Art always loves to do to me is he'll throw me the curveball when I'm on the show, and suddenly we're talking about the region and growth, and he wants to talk about politics. So we are throwing Jenean a curveball today. She thought she was coming in to talk about cookies and pies and ciders and all kinds of fun stuff at Baynes Apple Valley, but we are going to talk about school boards for a few minutes, and it's definitely been an interesting time. Jenean, I'll start with this, and I've been talking about the last few days. I feel like the construct of time has changed from BC and AD to before COVID and after 100%. COVID. It feels like that's the new marker. But you have been on the school board, I joked, for a while. How many years have you been on the school board in Saginaw Township?
You really want to know?
I really want to know.
16.
So I don't make the same mistakes
17?
You do. 17 years.
Yeah. Yes.
Was the COVID time frame the most challenging, difficult, and craziest time that you've been on that school board?
I will probably. For me, it was hard seeing the two camps, and we got away from what's best for kids, because both camps thought that what they thought was best for kids. But I think in all that chaos, a lot of egos came out, and we didn't focus on why we're there.
You mean the main thing of education?
Yeah.
But isn't that kind of a problem all the time? I know I sit through board meetings. I'm like, wow, we're talking about facilities, and we're talking about bonds, and we're talking about buses and bus drivers, and we're talking about sports teams, and we're talking about bands. And you go, wait a minute. Have we talked about reading scores or mathematics or technology or I hate when people say it, but the
reading,
main thing about the main thing is the main thing. Yeah. Do we lose the forest through the trees sometimes because we're dealing with all these ancillary items?
100%. I had a young man come in the office last week filling out some of his paperwork, and he is a 16-year-old young man and couldn't write his name in cursive as he was signing some of the documents that he had to sign. And to your point, we've gotten away from some of those nuts and bolts, in my opinion. So going into education will have a completely different spin, completely different thought process, because you're forced to have that. Would you agree?
I guess you could say that, yes. But I've seen you in it for 17 years, and I've now been working in it for 5 years. I've created my own as well, because I have to. But I'm creating it as a keeper of fun side. I see the fun side of it. I want the kids to come into school and actually enjoy it.
But we have a great staff. Our teachers are awesome. I'm sure your teachers in Bay City are awesome as well. They're hardworking people, get up every day. They do want what's best for kids, I do believe, but we've gotten caught in some of the minutia. Yes.
Our teachers are extraordinary. I've made a vow this year that we as a board are actually going to go into every school building as a board, not to sit there and analyze and not to sit in and supervise, but to just say hello.
Yes.
Thank teachers, thank staff, see some kids, read to some schools, look at the facilities firsthand and see some things. And, I walked into one classroom and they said, oh, go sneak in. It's, I'll leave her name out of it, but she was an elementary school teacher at Hampton. And I think they said she's in her 54th year and maybe the longest tenured teacher in the state of Michigan.
Awesome.
And I walked in, and I love her. She gave a quick, really just wave, and they were all standing on the mat. I want to say first graders. And there was an alphabet song on, and it was like one of these, say your R, say your S. And the kids were dancing and having a good time. And I just sat there and watched for 2 or 3 minutes, and I just watched those faces, and I watched her, and I'm like, this is what we do. This is what it's about. This is, we can get caught in the business operation sometimes, but it was a great reminder of what education is and what it's supposed to be. And to your point, these teachers, they give their heart and soul. My mom was a teacher growing up, so as I grew up. So I always joke, and, sorry to say this on your birthday, Mom, but still one of my fondest memories are her on the other end of the couch, grading papers, That cigarette, it was the 80s, folks. That cigarette hanging out one side, it never left the edge of her lip, and I don't really remember her inhaling. Why did those papers just get graded one after another
She was in the zone.
She was in the zone doing her thing. So yeah, I'm glad you brought up the teachers because they do amazing work in all of our schools.
100%. Yes. I'm looking forward to Carly's next journey too.
So as you look forward, and I don't know how you feel, but I felt like this year was the first normal year in a while. Like when the year started, I did feel like that construct of time. I really did feel like COVID was in the rearview mirror. I still feel like it's in the rearview mirror. Do you at least get that sense that we can move forward again and that we have the monkey off our back?
I went to a pep assembly at White Pine homecoming. So 3 weeks ago on a Friday. And in that moment, as I was watching the kids and the activities and people running around in the cheerleading squad and the pom-pom squad, I was back to pre-COVID, standing at Heritage watching a pep assembly. And it almost took my breath away because it felt normal again. Yes. As we have those types of activities and just to see the kids, not one kid in that gym was thinking about COVID for that 45 minutes. That was amazing.
Yeah, that is nice. And I feel like our kids have gotten to that point where they're not. So we need to wrap up, but I just wanted a couple things, folks. Baynes Apple Valley right there in Felan on M47. Make sure you go check it out as you've heard a lot of cool and interesting things. Thank you, Carly, for joining us this morning as well. I really hope that Keeper of Fun name changes. And Jenean,
the whole press release.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I'm going to be
cards.
checking. And Jenean, thank you for your service on a school board. Thanks for taking that leap of faith into small business and for all you do in the community. It was great to have you both today.
Thank you for having us.
We'll be back on the Art Lewis Show.
A 401k can be an important asset for many Americans' retirements. You've made contributions to your 401k every single paycheck for years. Tune in Sundays at 8 a.m. on WSGW for your Financial Empower Hour with Jason Kreiderman from Great Lakes Investment in Midland. They will give you information like how your 401k's tax advantages and portability may enable workers to build sizable and important nest eggs. But its flexibility can also be costly if you aren't aware of potential mistakes. Great Lakes Investment Advisors have a guide that will teach you how to avoid an IRS early distribution penalty and full taxation on rollovers. The little-known weapon you can use, your most mistake-proof option, and more. Request your guide today at 989-835-7203 or visit GreatLakesInvestmentAdvisors.com. This commercial shall in no way be construed as a solicitation to sell securities or advisory services of any state other than Michigan or where otherwise permitted. Topics should be discussed with your individual advisor prior to implementation. Advisory services offered through Great Lakes Investment Advisors, a registered investment advisor in the state of Michigan.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with things I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of the disease called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, straight lines seem wavy, like when looking at a door frame. For others, blurry or missing spots can make it hard to read or see loved ones' faces. Many have trouble seeing in low light, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you've been diagnosed with AMD and notice vision changes, don't wait. Talk to your eye doctor about GA today. Learn more at GAWon'tWait.com. That's GAWon'tWait.com.
Hello, Michigan. I'm John Gonzalez.
And I'm Amy Sherman. We've got big news.
We're back! And you can join us Sundays at 1 p.m. as we once again go behind the mitten.
We'll take you to every corner of the state, sharing the stories that make Michigan great.
Find a hidden gem or a new favorite spot that might be located right in your hometown.
We'll go above the bridge and taste our way across the state.
Join us Sundays at 1 p.m. right here on 100.5 and 790 News Radio, WSGW.
That wraps up this edition of the Art Lewis Show. Once again, Matt Felan. Thank you to my friends from First State Bank and Baynes Apple Valley for joining the show today. Up next is Focus, where we're going to chat a few things Great Lakes Bay region. But first, the news.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW